Hello everybody and welcome to this replay of the Round 9 AFL clash between Port Adelaide and Sydney from Amy Stadium in South Australia. Between them, these sides had played in the last 4 grand finals, so an entertaining affair was anticipated. And having lost by a record margin of 68 points when they played in Sydney back in round 2, Port Adelaide was eager to make amends. Chad Corns and Michael Wilson returned to the Port Adelaide team, but the absence of Sean Burgoyne because of suspension was a big loss. Sydney also had to replace a star player with Ty Kennelly out with a knee injury suffered during last week's 91-point thrashing of Essendon, with Tim Schmidt coming in for his first game of 2008. Here's how the game unfolded in near perfect conditions from Amy Stadium. Adam Goods, his 200th consecutive game in the AFL, 4th all-time now behind Jimmy Steins. His career started here, round 1, 1999 against Port, as we get underway. And a free kick straight away going to the Sydney Swans. This is Goods, bounding through the centre with a bounce. Now looking for Moore at the back. Jared Moore with a chance, runs onto the loose ball, taken down in the tackle by Salopek. That is after the event from Michael O'Loughlin, but a free kick going to the Swans.
Well, in the back there, John, and it looked like Moore, Jared Moore had a sensational game last week. He was just bringing across half forward, pushing up in the midfield, and we'll see the replay here. Good tackle initially, the ball's out, and gee, it's a little bit unlucky. I think it was Salopek, but the umpire saw that he pushed forward, and it was more Moore going to his knees, which helped it.
Michael, that's your 5
Jared Moore,
that's your line.
Reserves best and fairest winner with the Sydney Swans last season. 2 goals won last week in his best ever game for Sydney in their victory over Essendon. He's kicked 6 goals, 8 this season, but from that close he's hit the post.
Oh,
he dragged it back in as well.
Oh, Jolly goes off the ground. McVeigh to Jared Moore. Good acceleration. Now sets it up for the Sydney Swans. Out comes O'Loughlin. Couldn't take the mark. Pettigrew with the support of Chaplin. Now Thurstons with some work to do. Going backwards. Bevan works onto the loose ball, gets the kick underway, and Sydney have the first of the afternoon.
Speaking of who?
Goods on cue. 7.5 minutes played, term number 1. O'Keefe comes out. Port Adelaide with Chaplin overrunning it. O'Keefe
loose it forward here.
Looks for O'Loughlin running into space, and Sydney have made a great start. O'Loughlin wants to play on. Amon Buchanan wasn't on the same wavelength. Pettigrew gets a quick kick away, but O'Loughlin looking to redeem himself. One way, back the other. Handball over the top. Buchanan, known goal kicker, swings around, makes no mistake.
And Peter Burgoyne involved.
This is Salopek edging them forward to find Ebert. That one hangs in the air just a little. They'll contest in the goal square. May have gone through. Leo Barry plays on. Brings it out. Good job by Craig Bolton. And now Kieran Jack with Ebert about to track him down. Gets his kick away in time though for O'Keefe. Goal side of his opponent. Did a good job against Chaplin. Will not be on him, Ryan O'Keefe. 23 goals last season, top 5 for the Sydney Swans. And Chaplin just caught out of position.
Used his body well then.
Yeah, he hasn't had the kicking boots on this year though, John.
That's true. He kicked 3 points against Port Adelaide in round 2. Celebrating his 150th AFL appearance. Ryan O'Keefe, 2 goals, 2 last week. Likes the look of it off the boot, makes no mistake.
I still believe that when the ball goes in the Port Adelaide's forward line, they look very, very dangerous.
Look at that wider shot there, and you see all the numbers getting to this contest. They were all inside the forward 50 there for Port last time they went in.
Ablett shut down in a strong tackle by Travis Boak, holding the ball. There's Sean Burgoyne. Missing a game for the first time in 3 years, and they'll miss his 38 disposals and 8 clearances that he came up with last week.
Gee, that was a good kick.
For Treadress.
He's moving well too, Warren. We talked about his athleticism last week.
Well, he's kicked more goals at Amy Stadium than any other player, but he hands over here to Brendan Lade, who unloads from 60, and the ruckman seals the deal. Let's go to Rowan Smith.
Well, boys, two of Port Adelaide's ball magnets in Kane Corns and Peter Burgoyne have not had a touch yet, boys. So Kane Corns is matched up against Goods and Bevan doing a good job on Peter Burgoyne. Craig Bolton looking for Goods, aided by the bounce. Now O'Keefe did that well again, got away from Chaplin. McVeigh's naked in the forward line and hits him on the chest. James in 2008. Very deliberate as he approaches, and he likes it off the boot. Sydney extend their lead. Back to Corns. Boat. Kane Corns. Boat needs to get up quickly and does. Down low. Motlop couldn't take the mark. Lay like a rover. Scooped it up with exceptional skills. Chad Corns works onto the ball around the body and deep, and the mark has been taken down there by Ebert.
Now, left foot, just pull around, pretty easy. Oh, he's just snuck it in.
Gets the 6 points. Dodd, now with Jude Bolton in support. Slips to his feet, time to recover though. Quick kick coming out of there by Craig Bird.
Oh, well done, Bevan. That was terrific, Mark.
55 metres out, works to the goal front. Playfair is there. So too Jared Moore, swung toward goal and comes up with a finish.
Two really special bits of play there. The Bevan mark across half forward. Peter Burgoyne didn't even lay a glove on him in the finish. Great work by Playfair to get it down to a dangerous area. And Moore, I talked about his endurance, but his body strength. He's a typical little Sydney player, the Buchanan type, very powerful through the legs. And he was able to hold up on the tackle. He'll be really disappointed with that tackle, Jacob Surgeon, because he really needed to finish that off instead of trying to sling him. Just dispossessed, that's all, but that's a wonderful goal to Moore.
Great smother. Still, again, I don't know whether he used that hand. It might have been the other one.
Bolton for the lead of O'Keefe. It's going to drop short, but O'Keefe is good enough to get there.
Got to change this matchup. It might be Pettigrew might have to go to him, although then you get the Danish O'Loughlin out. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
He even pulled the hand away and used the opposite hand.
Well,
this is a problem, though, Liam.
Yeah, it is. I don't think Chaplin's certainly not playing on him at the moment. Started on him, definitely.
What about Surgeon? He wouldn't be able to go in the air, but he could go with him running, maybe.
I think it has to be Chaplin or Carlisle.
True.
O'Keefe comes in looking for his second. Umpire doesn't move. Sydney lead by 18 points. The Corns brothers combine. Now Surgeon dispossessed by Moore, who was strong at it again and has come off second best. Jared Moore hasn't moved. Port Adelaide go forward and they get a much-needed goal.
It's where the game was won last week by Hawthorn in the centre square.
Brogan works to the front. Sydney get the momentum. Goods wheeling around. O'Loughlin lurking. Couldn't take the mark under pressure from Pettigrew. Here's Peter Burgoyne. That looked like a throw. Logan, Kirk, quick kick out of the congestion. Could be a goal. It is. Well, he can come up with the impossible.
Everybody stop. Let's have a look. Pearce kicks it forward. Motlop just there. He didn't mean that.
No,
Liam,
I don't think so. I think he meant to kick it.
Keep it alive.
Yeah.
That's what he meant to do.
Not sure it went the required 15 metres.
Look at this. Oh, no, it was the but he tried to do it, and it came off Bolton's foot.
It went about 8 metres, didn't it? Yeah,
Just the Indigenous boys, we just give them too much credit for the magic sometimes.
You might be right there. He needs to kick this goal, Treadrate.
Well, he kicked 4 straight last week and has kicked more goals here at Amy than any other player. And the umpire doesn't have to move. Kirk. Inside the last 4 minutes, term number 1. That looked like 50 metres against Brett Ebert. An obvious one. Well, we saw Matthew Scarlett do something similar on Friday Night Football. Ebert must have been confused.
Well, it's a brain fade, that's what it is. And a costly one if he kicks this goal. Not a noted goal kicker.
Well, Craig Bolton now, he started on Justin Westhoff. He has gone to Daniel Motlop. So Paul Roos, well done. He's made a few changes. The matchups weren't great early.
Bolton hasn't kicked a goal since round 10 last year. He's got good money here, though, and Sydney have kicked 8. Boat punches it out of the air with the play-on call. Cassisi, first man to arrive. Boat riding shotgun, but he looks longer than that to a 2-on-1, and Malcheski takes the mark. Poor pass from Malcheski, though, has given it over to Port Adelaide's Brett Ebert.
I said earlier I thought that the Port Adelaide forward line was looking dangerous. Well, you know, Sydney's kicked 8, so there is an issue up the other end with Malcheski on that occasion. Normally a beautiful kick. Just centred the ball, and that hurts. Brett Ebert, he owes the club this one.
Been out of footy a long time, but he's certainly right. Brett Ebert needs to finish here.
3 goals last week, Brett Ebert. He's kicked 3 in the first quarter here for Port Adelaide.
Should have kicked that first goal of the quarter, really.
Lade wins the tap, but it went to space. Kane Corns looking for Peter Burgoyne. Good tackle from Kieran Jack, showing his father's qualities. Kirk, elusive again. Ablett off a step. Chaplin goes back. Playfair there for the Sydney Swans. Now O'Loughlin. They've got loose numbers in their forward line.
Jolly's the long option.
Jared Moore finds Playfair. Cross ground to the open man. Mark taken by Jude Bolton. He wants the short pass as well. Buchanan.
So,
goal kicker on the run in the first quarter from a set shot. That looks good as well. He's equalled his career high of 2 in a game. Brogan ducks his head.
Well done, Brogan.
Drives it forward. Coming out, Treadray. Couldn't take the mark, but found it on the ground. Works around the body. Port Adelaide get the goal. Short kick. Wilson. Disposal number 4.
They're running a bit harder here than the Sydney Swans at the moment.
Roden.
Well, he's going to sell the dummy.
Takes them on. Finds Ebert.
There's that match up again. Leo Barry cannot go play on Brett Ebert, and Paul Roos needs to find someone else who can do the job. He's just come off the interchange bench. That might have been that Westhoff change. I'm trying to see where Westhoff, he might still be on the ground. No, they've gone with Roberts Thompson on Westhoff now.
That's the beauty of a guy like David Roden, is he takes you on. And that makes other people run. And their forward line is functioning much better in this second quarter, even though we haven't seen it on the scoreboard yet.
Ebert held goalless when these teams played in round 2, but he's kicked 4 already today. Got it. Still in dispute. Matner to Craig Bolton. A hurried kick. Chaplin couldn't take the mark. Jared Moore has support inside. Jude Bolton. Handball out for Spider Everett. Inside the centre square. Multiple options. Good mark to Jolly. Sydney kicked 8 goals in the first quarter. This is their second in term number 2. Brogan to do battle with Everett. Aided by the bounce. Brogan wins the tap. Port Adelaide get the ball going in their direction. Burgoyne assisted with a Shepherd. We coughed it up. Ted Richards rebounding up the half-back line with Nick Malcheski in support. Richards kept running. Needs to be quick here. Got it off just in time. Kick favoured Pettigrew. He couldn't find it. Chaplin's had a terrible day in his 50th AFL appearance. Ball still in dispute. And now we'll have a bounce.
Let it go. Let it go. Right, no need.
Up to 11 disposals for the match. Travis Boak, just a young player. Really should have a goal next to his name too. From earlier in the quarter.
Everett wins the tap. Jared Moore ran onto it. Likes the look of it off the boot. The Swans have kicked 2 in 2 minutes. Brogan. Now Roden running onto it. Ahead of Craig Bird. Good tackle from Craig Bird. Surgeon, though, with a chance to measure the kick. Treadray the target. Richards there with him. Can't prevent the captain taking the mark.
Too strong.
Kick 2 already, Treadray. A multiple goal kicker in 7 of the 9 games this season. Makes no mistake. Margin cut to 11. Motlop getting frustrated. Been a slow day, just 4 disposals. Chad Corns over the top of Luke Aglett. Stood up as well and got the ball out of there. Jared Moore. Craig Bolton. About to be run down. Good tackle from Robbie Gray. Play on the goal. Ebert looking for his 5th. And the fans like it. McVeigh at close quarters. Jared Moore. Good acceleration. Logan goes with him, but he drew the player. Buchanan over the top for Craig Bird. Pearce runs him down. O'Loughlin scoops it up and then slung to the ground by Pettigrew. It's a push in the back. But he hasn't kicked one today. He's kicked goals in 11 of his 13 games against Port Adelaide, and he silences the fans.
So, fantastic contest.
18 minutes played. Term number 3, Goods. Launches himself out of the centre. They attack to O'Loughlin again. Takes the mark. We're celebrating Indigenous round. Goods to O'Loughlin. Says it all.
They've absorbed the punishment that Port dished up in the first part of this quarter. And now they look the more dangerous team.
Boat gets it from Logan. Ebert on a searching lead. Leo Barry into his back. Ebert will look to play on. Does so. Has had a day out already. Ebert with 5. Let's make it an even half dozen. Great atmosphere here at Amy Stadium. Trust you are enjoying our coverage as term number 4 gets underway, and Dean Brogan hacks the ball forward for Port Adelaide. Pearce, good tackle on Kieran Jack, and the ball might come back in his direction. Cassisi. Peter Burgoyne measures the pass. Great mark taken by Tom Logan. Kicked only 1 goal all year. Hurried off the kick and out of bounds.
Lack of awareness, wasn't it? Just, he did the right thing the first time, had to have a quick kick, but didn't understand the pressure that the Sydney Swans players.
There's Brett Kirk getting involved.
Stop play here, big stop play.
Peter Burgoyne running onto the loose ball, goes into the open goal and kicks his first goal of the year.
Put on him.
Chad Corns drives Port Adelaide forward. Good mark from Daniel Pearce. Plays on, Logan running again. Treadray the target, coming out as well, Motlop. Too speedy for Craig Bolton, wheels around onto the right foot. He's overdue. Port Adelaide within 2 points. Well, confusion on the Port Adelaide bench as well as Motlop returns.
Oh, he's out here, Motlop too.
And boys, just on it, Choco Williams has just come down the bench and he's screaming and yelling. He is the most enthusiastic bloke I've seen for a long, long time as a coach.
And he's been animated all week. Robbie Gray.
Here's Daniel Motlop.
Here's Motlop lurking at the back, wants to take them on. Dances around the Bevan tackle from 55. It's coming back. Port Adelaide are in front for the first time today. Buchanan leads the charge. Kept it alive. Bevan overran it. Here's Motlop. Handball over the top. Daniel Pearce. Shrugged down by Matner. It's a minor score. And now we have a straight kick the difference.
That's a big point, and great chase by Matt. Now, these blokes are out in their feet. It's just something about the Sydney Swans, Liam. You're just playing these games every time. Let's play on. Bad kick in here.
Richards with problems.
Good decision by the umpire.
You know, you talk about tough players. Brett Kirk is up to 30 possessions, and his mix is 16 contested possessions and 14 uncontested. That is playing a tough, hard brand of footy.
McVeigh, a hurried kick forward. Playfair knocks it to O'Loughlin, joining in Jared Moore. Now there's no one between him and the goals. Jared Moore. Push taking the kick, but he gets the finishing touches and we're tied away.
Well, we just talk about the Sydney Swans. They forced this ball forward and they couldn't get any momentum. They were all flat-footed, the Port Adelaide defenders, because it bounced up high. And just Jared Moore, we know about his power and his strength, keeps his feet and finishes, because he could have missed that under pressure. But now, again, goes back to the centre bounce. What a magnificent game. What a great finish.
What a finish we have looming here.
I'll tell you what happened then too. They lost their loose man. what happened? The Sydney Swans pushed the man forward. Pettigrew had the man up, so well done to Paul Roos.
Scores level, less than 5 minutes to play. These teams have never played a draw.
That's three. Back out, Jared.
Goods, third man up. Get some distance. More involved again.
Matt just push forward here if they can win this ball.
Buchanan couldn't mark it. Carlisle been steady all day. Boat with problems. Shut down by Smith. To Surgeon.
Oh, well done.
Shaking the tackle of Playfair. And Ebert running onto it.
Oh, well done there, Barry. Free kick.
Free kick.
Oh, he's hurt himself too.
All right, with 4 minutes to go in this game. Look at that. You see that? Yeah, probably through there. They need Brett Ebert, but looks like he's, yeah, it's the right ankle, but looks it.
Tell you what, you don't want to get the stretcher out because he might come good in a minute. Might be a stinger.
He only has to work his way. They're saying he's done for the day. Look, I think it's his right foot goes not there.
Oh, just there.
No, I think it's this one. Oh, I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
It's his left ankle, boys. Definitely his left ankle. So he's carrying his left ankle.
Exactly. Why didn't we just go to you in the first place?
Oh, Daniel Pearce. That is unbelievably dumb under the situation. You kick a drop punt down the line and keep the ball in play close to the boundary line. Now the rebound's on.
You've got to have an ounce of luck in these games, but the team with the best composure, or the most composed team, normally wins.
Darren Jolly set Leo Barry a task. Run of the ball to Richards, having trouble finding it though. Leo Barry just palms off a would-be tackler. Now they're running. Jude Bolton drives long. At the back, O'Keefe climbing high. Unsuccessfully, found it on the ground. Got a kick away. Port Adelaide with numbers. Chaplin.
Oh, just a pile drive.
Luke Ablett straight over the top, but no free kick.
He's hurt too.
Oh, he's nearly out on his feet here. I think the umpire again was blindsided. Let's have a look here. That's a free kick every day of the week.
When you get kneed in the side of the...
Where's the third umpire? Had to be in a position to see that.
Chad Corns wins the tap. O'Keefe with a run of it though. Chaplin appears to be okay. O'Keefe escorts it over the line.
See, with 3.5 minutes to go in the game. It's a bit groggy for Troy Chaplin.
Well, so he should be.
He knows his opponent's going to keep running all the way through to the end. He's got to be with him.
Sydney have already had one draw this year. A second beckons here. Jude Bolton to Kirk. 45 out, bringing it back. Mark's been taken.
Schmidt.
Tim Smith has taken the mark, playing his first game of 2008.
Good contested mark too. Not a lot Serge could...
I think he said it was over the shoulder too, I think.
Well, he needs to really think his way through this.
Just 16 games to his credit. Made his debut here against Port Adelaide, round 17, 2006.
Down the banana.
Top 10 in their goal kicking last year. Any score puts them in front. Tim Smith, what a time to get your first goal of the year.
Wonderful goal by a young player. We talked about composure, and the Swans fans that have made the trip, and there's a few of them here, they were dead, they were cooked. Again, they found a way to get the ball forward. They extricate the ball from stoppages better than anybody under pressure. Brett Kirk was involved in that long kick. You look back at the end of this game, and you're going to say, if the Swans win this game, the player who's been the most influential player on the ground will be Brett Kirk.
Well, Tim Schmidt, who took 2.5 years after being recruited to make his debut, puts the finishing touches on. Sydney lead by a goal, less than 3 minutes to play. Brogan wins the tap. Pettigrew hard at it. Port Adelaide with numbers.
I'll tell you what, Wilson.
Jolly though, strongly. And they knock the ball out of bounds with 2:44 on the clock.
Michael Wilson's finding out that the modern game, he's been out for a long time, the modern game has gone up another notch.
And boys, just on Brett Ebert, he's on the bench and he's wrapped his ankle in ice, so no further part of the game. So the goal kicker's out.
Cassisi taken down by Brett Kirk.
They're all the players you want around the contest there. Look at Brett Ebert's ankle. All the players Port Adelaide want at the contest are there. Corns, Roden, Pearce, Burgoyne. They need to get a good clearance here.
Hogan with the tap. Does his own roving as well. He's trying to shovel it forward. Motlop gets involved. Kept it on the line just inside. Still dancing around.
No room to move though.
Shut down initially by McVeigh, but Port Adelaide going for Westhoff at the back. Couldn't take the mark. Roden involved. So too Wilson. A quick kick. Bevan shut down. Swans will be happy to see this over. And we've got 2 minutes to play.
Tell you what, I don't think Paul Roos has put a player behind the play. He was a loose man. I try and get laid back on. I think just his hands at these stop plays is a little bit more inventive than Brogan.
Hasn't used him really in the ruck all day.
Salapak third man up. Lewis Roberts-Thompson with the kick. Brogan dispossessed.
Oh, they're out.
McVeigh, Schmidt, Jude Bolton waited for support. Provided by Kieran Jack. O'Loughlin one out. Gets goal side of Thurston's. This could seal it. Thurston's great tackle. O'Loughlin still going. Look away handball.
Henry.
Play fair. McVeigh gets it back. O'Loughlin the target. Salopek shuts him down.
Still a bit of time in. A minute and a half to go.
I think the O's caught one on the side of the head.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, Port Adelaide need to score twice. They're pinned in their back pocket. 1:23 on the clock. Luke Ablett running onto it. Ball still in dispute. Here's Schmidt. Jude Bolton. Quick kick out of the congestion. It's smothered. Any score for Sydney here, and you think Port Adelaide couldn't get across the line. Schmidt. McVeigh for the finishing touches with a minute to go.
Oh, those little blokes in the midfield have done the damage today. Moore, Buchanan, McVeigh, Kirk. They've just been sensational, and when they were challenged, and they had no right to win this game. They had absolutely no right. They had no ball inside the forward 50 the first 20 minutes, and they've willed their way to this win, and I think through the leadership of Brett Kirk. And McVeigh has just become a very, very good AFL footballer. Great finish. You'd reckon Port got their work well and truly cut out here for 2 goals in a minute.
Well, the fans have seen enough. They're heading home. 31 minutes played. Sydney by 12 points. They're a goal down at the 14-minute mark, Sydney, but they've kicked the last 3. And are going to get across the line and win their 4th straight game against Port Adelaide. Treadray still with plenty to give. Gets his team forward and now out of bounds.
So little things win these games, and Kieran Jack's tackle on Peter Burgoyne to turn that ball over. You know, he comes from a rugby league family, so he should know how to tackle well. Gee, it was fantastic play.
Well, his dad was the best rugby league player in the world in 1987. Here's Peter Burgoyne. Boak. Cassisi pinned in the pocket. Squares the ball.
Oh, man.
Leo Barry happy to see it over the line.
Last roll of the dice. It's got to be a goal straight from this stop play. Right. Leo Barry would be happy if Brett Ebert's gone off.
Would he ever?
Goods looking to clear the congestion. The luxury of a bounce. And that looked deliberate from here.
Umpire, well done. Good decision.
Pettigrew with the ball. Has to fire quickly. Gets it into the pocket looking for Robbie Gray. But Ted Richards was right there with him.
I know they're under pressure. They don't know what the time is, but the top of the square is the danger area. The pocket, it's hard to kick a goal from there anyway.
Tell you what, 12 points at quarter time, 11 points at half time, 14 points, and the margin now 12 points. They've just been a couple of goals better all day, haven't they, really?
It's been a tremendous match. Free kick going to Port Adelaide, right on the siren, so it matters not in terms of the result. And Sydney have prevailed here, coming from a goal down at the 14-minute mark. And Sydney lead by 12 The margin may change, but they'll get the 4 points in what has been a memorable affair. Cassisi with a shot after the siren. 48 metres out. Never had it on line. It's a minor score. And the Sydney Swans have prevailed by 11 points after Port Adelaide hit the front for the first time during the final quarter. It's Sydney 16-9-105. Port Adelaide 14-10-94.
Well, a magnificent game of football. Well done to both sides. And the Sydney Swans again, we say it time, week in, week out. They just play a game that whenever they get challenged, they'll find a way. And normally they shut the game down. They've ended up kicking 16 goals. Port Adelaide had their chances. No doubt they had a dominance of the game in the first 15 minutes of that quarter. Just a magnificent contest from both great, very good sides. Very good sides.